What's going on YouTube? Today we have an awesome video. This is my first ever lesson. To my left.
Hi, I'm Bo Tarosi. I'm the golf professional here at Westcott Golf Club.
We are going to be fixing my swing or teaching me kind of the fundamentals because this is my first lesson. So let's jump into it.
Okay, so you have said you've never had a lesson before.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Are you nervous?
I am nervous.
Good.
Yeah.
No, it's the first time I've ever taught a lesson, so I'm nervous too.
No way. Yeah, no shot.
No, it's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different when you know eyes are on you, picking you apart,
right,
looking at stuff.
Right.
But remember this, Cole. This isn't me telling you what you have to do.
Okay. Right.
We've got to pick things out of you. I've got to discover stuff out of you and figure out how to make it apply to your game. And the other thing is going to be what you feel and what is real.
I've heard that, yeah.
Often aren't the same. So whenever you're making a change, which we're probably going to make a change today in something, you're going to feel something different. And you're going to be probably convinced, oh, I'm doing it. I'm going to be like, nah, you're kind of in that limbo area, Cole. You haven't quite got there yet. I need you to exaggerate this feeling you got. And it's just going to not make sense at times, but you have to trust the process.
Yeah, right? I'm excited. I want to see, I want to see how different it looks when I think I'm doing something versus what you're saying and what they're saying.
Right.
Is how,
yeah. Grab one of your shorter clubs, one of your wedges or so.
We did a slight bit of stretching, but we'll see how how much of a difference that makes.
I am gonna. You see the South Carolina disc that's out there?
Yeah, the palmetto one.
Yeah, the palmetto disc. You see the white Westcott one just behind the palmetto disc? That's kind of got you lined up in that kind of direction. So as your eye goes up and looks out through the field, that's kind of the direction. Kind of right in there.
Nice.
So hit a few of these little short shots. What do you have? Your 56?
Yeah, that's a sand wedge, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know Myler doesn't have a range, but if you ever go out, if you're going to come out and practice,
this is where I go. Yeah, I always come out here.
Yeah. So if you come out and practice and stuff, this is how you're going to start off practicing. You're going to take short clubs, hit some short shots just to start kind of getting the feel and a little rhythm going. So again, grips, you're hitting most of these pretty well, Cole. Grips are, again, like golf swings. There's some things that we want to see in grips, but again, it's not, this is the grip you have to use.
Right.
It's not like
it's a comfortable thing.
It is, but there are some things that I want to see. For right now, just for a second, just lean the club on your body, let your arms just hang here relaxed. So, right? I don't want any tension. Great. So look how your hands naturally turn inward. Mine do as well.
Yeah.
And ours are actually turning in pretty darn similar to each other.
Yeah.
And out of the two hands, one's going to be, they're both important, but one's going to be more important than the other. You want to take a guess on which one might be the most important?
The trail arm?
I would say the lead arm.
Okay.
That one's going to have all the fingers on the club. Yeah. Here's one of those points. You can kind of relax now.
Yeah. Well, it's like
yeah. I'll get the club in your hands here in a second. Number one thing you've got to learn today, if I'm doing any kind of grip change, is going to be you got to remember what we do with this hand. This is going to be most important. Right hand's going to be important, but if you are going to forget everything, don't forget what we're going to do with this hand today. That's kind of like, a teacher saying, okay, this is going to be on the pop quiz later. So, again, I like to have mine relaxed inward a lot so that when I get to here, if you just want to turn and face the camera for a second. Yeah. So now you've got this club securely in that left hand. If we're holding it out towards the camera, we should be able to keep this arm fairly rigid and just hinge with that left wrist. Good to go.
I've noticed that I see almost like the 3-knuckle thing here with mine. Mine tends to be a bit strong. I feel like a lot of times I'll do that, and maybe I should come a little bit more here with it.
To me, this looks pretty good. You see the 3 knuckles. Left thumb sits right of center. It's a game of opposites. That's our first opposite we're going to encounter. Left thumb sits right of center on the grip. When you put this club now down on the ground, without moving your head around, you've probably lost sight of those 3 knuckles. You might see 2 knuckles at this point.
Yeah, it's like 1.5. It's like the first one and a little bit of that.
Yeah, so now you see 1.5, and again, your right or your left thumb is still right of center. So that's a pretty good spot. Everything I say, it's like, okay, I'm going to kind of, for at least right now, get you in a generic neutral spot, and you have creative licensing to do a little bit of leeway here or
Right.
there, as long as it's in moderation.
Yeah.
Like an example would be like, okay, Cole, if you're standing here, I need you to widen your stance. I don't need you to go sumo on me and widen it. It's like, okay, if you're here, wide means maybe doing that.
Yeah.
You know, it's in moderation. We don't want to go to extremes yet. There's your left hand. We got to figure out the right hand now. So if you just take this, hinge that thing back up to the sky, and you can just put your right hand up here on the shaft. And you said you like to overlap? Is that where you are? Okay, yeah. You just bring that down, overlap those, the pinky and the forefinger underneath the club. And what's going to happen is this hand is now going to fold up and over the top of that club. So now your right thumb is going to sit slightly left of center. So the big, and that looks really good to me.
Yeah.
That does not look like the grip of somebody playing golf for 2 months.
Okay.
The big takeaway is going to be, and a lot of people don't get this, it's almost like the hands are both working inward together, towards each other.
Yeah.
Versus like both leaning to the right or both leaning to the left. They're both working inward.
Yeah, it almost, is there a sense of any like kind of tension against this? Do I want to have any sort of...
You want to have liveliness.
Yeah.
A little bit of electricity happening in there, but tension is...
But not like...
No, not at all. Just go ahead and get your hands on there. This is going to be hard for the people to see.
Yeah.
But if this is this your normal grip right here?
Yeah, this is pretty close,
okay.
yeah.
Just keep your hands there. I'm going to grab it. That's border. There you're starting to relax it a little bit.
Okay, so you want a little bit less than I was giving it.
Absolutely, a little bit less. So if you squeeze it, go with full on Incredible Hulk on me, rage at the world, grab this thing as tightly as you can. And now I do this, you can grip it tighter than that. There we go. So there we go. So as we start doing that, I can't really manipulate your body all around like a wet spaghetti noodle. And when you do this, grip it, if that's as tight as you can grip it, you probably lose sensation of this club somewhere right in here.
Yeah.
Meaning you can't feel everything.
Yeah, it's all
there.
right. It's like right here.
Yeah. So go squeeze it super tight, and now just start. There you go. Start relaxing, relaxing. So you start feeling
the head,
the weight of the club head.
Yeah.
Have you heard that? Have you read that anywhere? That's what we're talking about, and that's how you lose sight of that, is by just
Yeah, that's like that makes a lot of sense.
So that's why you see players, you know, in the beginning when they got the ball in front of them and they're getting ready to hit the shot, and they're just kind of doing all the wiggling around and stuff like that.
They're getting a feel for the head.
They're getting a feel for the head. They're trying to stay relaxed. Now, when the swing actually starts, you start building momentum of this club, and you know the speed starts happening. You will naturally start to grip this thing a little firmer during the swing.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a subconscious thing. It can't be you
thinking I'm going to grip it tighter.
Oh, I'm going to grip it tighter. I'm going to keep control. This game, you gain control by feeling as if you're losing control. Charge.
You see, like for me, it's like right in here. Once it gets up in the air, it's like not tight, but that's where I start to get a little bit more a little bit.
So the other little tweak I might do on your grip would be with the right hand. It's going to be with this index finger on the right. Right now you've got all your fingers just lined up together. You can actually, this is that trigger finger, and this is super strong, super powerful. And it's okay to get that thing a little separation in there. My fingers are actually short and fat. I can't get them to do this. See how I got a gap here between the thumb and that? The really good grippers of a golf club, they're able to actually kind of get these two to connect. But yeah, a little bit of a gap in there, it helps, and that's that is actually,
that feels like it's almost like a little bit more, I don't want to say like flick forward, because it's kind of like
I gotcha.
It's like, a bad word. We don't want to be flicky.
Flippy with it, flicky and flippy.
But it does feel like I have a little bit more, like leverage is probably more the word I'm looking for, when you have that space.
When you start swinging it.
Because this is more like the club head feels like it can wobble.
Yeah.
But this feels like...
This pad, just to show me your right hand, this pad right in here is a really strong part of that finger. And it's going to rest kind of
right on that,
on the side, maybe starting to favor the top of that grip, and that will put a lot of pressure into this. And so like you're talking about, like, oh, can this thing get flicky?
Yeah,
it can. But also when we get into a good impact position, that hand is riding on top of this club, and that little pressure point there is putting force into that shaft to
Yeah.
help make that compression of that golf ball. So that,
Okay.
yeah. For just this basic little shot,
Yeah.
that's fine trajectory. I actually have a little trajectory envy. I'm a high ball hitter,
Okay.
so when I see people flighting it down, I'm just like, ooh.
You kind of wish, yeah, you could get back to that. You've gotten so good at hitting the ball that you're like, I wish I could keep it a little lower.
That's right. Let me just see a couple 9-irons. Since we talked about the grip, I'm gonna start looking at swing now. Set up and swing.
Ooh.
So what are you working on in your swing right now, Cole? Because I see something different. I've never worked with you before.
Yeah.
I've seen some of your videos, and I do see something different.
Most recently, I feel like that I've been working on is putting my shoulder, this shoulder down, and more like keeping this arm closer to my body and just coming through and moving this shoulder through. Those are like the two biggest things that I've been working on. I just recently learned about ball placement, but those are really it. Like other than my swing from when I started, that's about the only two things I feel like.
Okay, what do you know about ball placement?
The 7-iron is about the middle of my stance, 6, and then 5, 4, maybe not even that much, but just kind of sort of towards the front.
Yep.
And then everything higher than a 7-iron. So my 8, maybe just behind that, a ball behind it, 9, maybe wedges are kind of dependent on what the lie is.
Right.
I move it around.
So for standard stock shots,
Yeah.
where you're not trying to do anything, move a ball left, right, high, low,
Right.
just a standard stock shot. I love what you're saying about the 7-iron going forward.
Okay.
The ball's gradually going to just start creeping towards that inside the left foot. Your driver is going to be somewhere right in here to right in there, like a ball width back, somewhere in that space. I'd actually, for stock shots, prefer the 8-iron, 9-iron, and all your wedges in the middle as well. They only start going backwards then if we're trying to do something special with the ball.
Keep it lower.
Mainly, yeah.
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 Okay, so we have hit a couple of 9-iron shots and I'm hitting them really low, toppy, thinning them.
All right, so I just videoed you on my phone from face on and down the line. And pretty interesting that you made the comment. Actually, I'll put you right back here at setup. Setup looks pretty good.
Yeah.
You made the comment that you feel like what'd you say about your weight?
My weight's getting too much on my back foot.
On your back foot, your right foot. So, okay, first off, what I do see, your ball position is a little bit behind. I'd like to see that more in the middle.
All right.
Right now. You've got it maybe 1 ball, 2 balls to the right of center. But as we start the swing, watch your head. I don't have the boxes and lines up here, but just watch your head in relation to like that tree branch right above it. So as we take this thing up to the top, you actually kind of shift slightly ahead of the golf ball.
Like this way?
Yeah, leaning towards your target a little bit. So you're feeling like you're getting too much weight on your right. Do you almost feel like you're moving off of the golf ball?
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're sliding away from it?
It feels like I'm going this way.
It's funny because you're actually going the other way.
Yeah, I'm going front.
Yeah, you're going a little bit forward. And then as you start the downswing, the relationship of your head to the golf ball, like even just looking at the visor of your hat, you're in front of the ball.
Yeah.
So let's break it down for a second. You do something nice. You do get your weight even shifted harder to the left side as you start your downswing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
The secret is you want to do that and keep your head behind the ball.
Really?
Instead, you're allowing everything to kind of shift. You stay forward and then you shift forward in the downswing. I want the weight feeling like it's going forward, but doing so, you got to keep your head back.
Yeah.
Okay, so take the club to the top of your backswing and pause. What does that feel like?
It feels like my head's behind the ball.
It is definitely behind the ball. Your head's back here, your ball's up here.
Is that a bad thing if this shoulder pushes my head that way though?
This shoulder?
Yeah.
No, that's not a bad thing. So back to setup. You want to feel, your feel is going to be, this shoulder is now behind the golf ball.
Yeah.
And that's keeping your head back here. That's a great thing. So now start unwinding slowly, moving towards the ball. Yeah. So here's where the hard part's going to be.
Feels so weird.
Is trying to figure out how to keep this back here while this gets out here.
Yeah.
We're going to take it back to the top and stop. Okay, so up here, pausing right here, where do you now feel your weight between this front of this foot, back of this foot, front of this foot, back of that foot?
The ball of my left foot.
So it's out here.
And then my heel and the front side of my right foot and the
like
inside.
Right in here?
Yeah.
That's perfect. What we need to think about, don't worry about the second part of this equation of trying to keep your head back here while everything's going forward.
Yeah.
I want you focused on the top of your backswing, feeling the weight where it needs to be right now. I hope you're feeling things a little bit differently on that right foot than what
yeah, because if I were to normally come up, it's all here.
Yep,
it's all right here.
So as long as you keep your core inside your right foot, you're okay. It's when everything starts kind of
getting too far
getting out here, then we've gone too extreme with it. That's fine, just something to aim at, but I really want you thinking, where's your weight going?
And I ended up in front on that one.
Are you surprised?
A little bit, yeah. I felt like I was so stacked here that I wouldn't get it forward.
Because it probably feels close to being like out of control.
Yeah, it's
like you're like, man, this is a lot of extra motion here.
Oops, sorry.
No, you're good. I've been doing this long enough. I've figured out ways to avoid the club head. But try to just produce that same motion, same rhythm.
I never even looked at it. I just kept looking
still
at the
in
ball.
the air.
Nice.
It's coming down right now. See
Wow.
it bouncing left of the white pole?
Yeah, I didn't even take my head off the ball. I just was like, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. A couple more. Good swing.
That one I felt a lot of forward, and actually the swing was easier on that one than the last two.
I didn't watch it so much on the other two, but that one right there, I was watching what your head does coming down and through, and it was not in front of the golf ball. All right, I feel like when I just give you, and I'm not pushing you hard, I'm just kind of reinforcing it. Bring it back down and relax. I feel like when I just kind of send you there, I put you there, you allow this to be relaxed enough to just take that turn back.
Way back, yeah.
When
I'm going, I don't do that.
no, it almost seems, I'm just kind of watching it on the video. It's almost like you do that part last and you strain on it.
Yeah.
Whereas when we get right here and it just winds up
Yeah.
very easily. All right, give me a practice swing. So as you do that, what is your focus? Is it, where's my weight on my feet? Is it,
Yeah, I'm just thinking about keeping everything. I want to feel that sensation on this side of the foot.
Okay. All right, 3 more. As you're trying to feel your weight back there, I am going to throw one more little kink into your mix.
Okay.
I want you feeling a shorter backswing.
All right.
So can you get everything back to your right without feeling like you're...
Yeah, instead of being here, maybe just like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
A couple of key points that we learned today. The light bulb moment really was keeping my head behind the ball, letting my weight kind of shift more to my left leg instead of being so stacked on this front leg. And the light bulb moment for me was kind of throwing my hands past the ball and keeping my head behind it. And that was the really big change for my swing. That really opened the door for, like, I understand what's going on.
There, but the idea is optimally to get it where, you know, your thumbs are kind of going upwards.
Guys, what he's basically saying is the club face finish, I was more here. And like he was saying, that's causing that fade, that slice. And he wants me to be more here. And we get there by, like he was just saying, the motion through the ball with my hand.
Let's talk about really fast though, Cole.
Yep.
You were struggling with that
Yeah.
until you just had like the next brief.
Oh, and that was the next thing. Yeah, you can show him.
Yeah.
So
we had to start that feeling of squaring the club face back up here earlier in that downswing, but not too fast.
Because before my knuckles were sort of coming under the ball, causing this kind of
Open
path
face.
here.
Yep.
So we started getting more of the the club to tilt and come square.
Yeah, but slowly. It's got to start kind of gradually building up speed.
Yeah.
It's not 60 miles per hour right here. It's building gradual till you get to your...
And that's another big thing, guys, is trying to rip it down from the top is never gonna, you're never gonna find any success.
So in your case, when you do rip it from the top,
Yep.
what's the big domino effect that happens specifically with your head?
I get here,
Oh yeah.
pulling these hands down, and I'm getting here, and that leads to, you know, topping it,
Right.
shanking it, everything. A lot better.
You stayed behind the ball on that one too.
Yeah. There it is.
Oh yes.
Dude.
And that was probably your slowest swing speed.
It still even came to the right at the very end, but that was, yeah, it was pretty slow.
But you weren't lacking any yardage.
No, I would play that all day. I played the one I hit at the palmetto tree all day. That was straight. You know what I mean?
If you have
That's
to play
so
that all
crazy.
day, I'm going to fire you as a student.
Yeah, you should. It's terrible.
All right.
I'm good on that. I can work on that on the
Okay.
range and stuff, but
All right.